This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Well, let me just be the first to say, hoo-yah, neighbie. Hoo-yah, neighbie. I've been hearing that around this week, and God, she's an idiot. She's just a stupid idiot of a person. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to last week's show. I'm Stu. She's Emily. Hello, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Things are going well over here. Although I'm not sure if I was ready for the phase of life where I would be told that I'm wrong about everything by people who still need me to find their shoes for them every morning.
Oh, that happens. Yeah. So did you not get the memo? It's hat day. It's special party hat day. You don't have your party hat on, I'm noticing. And I went away from the microphone and put my party hat on. Apparently you didn't get the party hat memo. No,
I didn't get the party hat memo. I feel left out, but I have this cat.
Oh, yeah, just set the cat on your head. That'll be fine.
There we are.
The cat sculpture. That works. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. I guess today is your birthday. You mentioned it last week, and thus my party hat.
Thank you.
Your birthday and your son's birthday, I guess?
It's my birthday today, and it's my son's birthday in 2 days.
Because I was going to get him a stripper, and I didn't know which way to go because I didn't remember which one it was. Like, do you go with a Barney-type stripper? I was going to go with that whole deal, and I just couldn't get it worked out in time. If you give me a little bit more notice next year, I can work that out and have it happen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll keep you posted and apprised.
Well, happy birthday to you both.
Thank you.
I'm going to keep this thing on my head as long as it doesn't make me insane. It feels very weird, a big silver hat on top of head.
I was going to say, it's very shiny. What is on the front of it? Is that a chameleon on the front of it?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at it. I think it's a flower or a tree of some sort. Huh. Maybe it's like a Rorschach test. Whatever you see says everything about your psychology. And you see a chameleon, so... Ow, fuck.
I love it. Well, thank you so much. And just the fact that it fits over your cans is just chef's kiss.
I said, is it going to work? And I said, I don't know, but let's go. And here we are. So plenty of show stuff to get to this week. I heard from John Ellis in social media about last week's show. He writes, great show as always. Loved Emily's sound effects. Can we get those in a ringtone? I'm struggling between caca and my dick bitch. Stu, how about a matchup of all your favorite Emily effects? Well, okay, we can try this here. Here we go. Let's see if we can work this out.
I'm a sour old
Once
cunt.
you start to take the piss,
Love me
my
harder.
dick. You can eat an entire bag of dicks. Eat an entire bag of dicks.
Bitch. Harder.
Oh, see, hang on. Here we go. You got to work out the order because some of them are short and some of them are long. Hang on.
I'm a sour old cunt.
Once you start to
My
take the
dick,
piss,
bitch. Love me.
you can
Love
eat
me
an
harder.
entire.
All right. Well, I don't think that's what he had in mind, but
You can eat
My
an
dick,
entire
bitch.
bag of
Love
dicks.
me. Love me harder. I'm a sour old cunt.
okay. Well, it's kind of working. I could sit down and do a produced thing. I think that's probably what he had in mind, but that would take some work and some extra effort. And I just don't have it in me this week, but maybe in future weeks. Because I've said that nowadays you don't even have to have musical talent to put together a song. I did the song to our intro, in fact. If I get bored one day, maybe I'll do that and we'll have it on future shows.
Yeah, maybe we can do a custom ringtone or the answering message for people.
Listen, you old
See what
cunt,
voice
she's
is.
not around.
Yeah.
Just really
What
abusive
the
stuff.
fuck do you want?
I had one of those on my phone for a while, and then I realized I was taking business calls that way, and I had to back it off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm using my personal phone now. Okay.
Okay, we're going to sort that out because I don't think that somebody coming to their voicemail and it starts with, why the fuck are you calling me? Text like a normal person.
I think it was along the lines of, please leave me a message unless you're a telemarketer. In that case, fuck off. I think that's what I was saying. So,
Well, different messages for different generations. I really think that the please text me is for our people.
and really that's nowadays with everybody, even in business, you're doing the texting. So yeah, catch up, people.
Right. I don't actually listen to my voice memos, which is probably the wrong thing. But people will call me and say, did you get my voice memo? And I will say, yes. but I didn't listen to it.
There are those people that just never see an email, never follow up on anything, and they just go on forever without knowing anything. So I think you're a step better in that regard. So, thanks to John. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and you can leave us a message, 818-570-0753. We don't often have guests on this show unless they're good. I think since you've been on, we've had one guest. But I do still get pitched guests in email. And here's an email that I got the other day. I thought I would share this with you, see what you think. Hey there, Stu. Just wanted to follow up on my note about Jackson Lemire. Never saw a note. Member of the White House Faith Council and founder of Pastors for Trump. He has a powerful perspective on the growing bias against Christians in government and a bold new book that's making waves. Would love to get him on your radar if you're booking guests right now. Happy to resend details or send over a media kit. How do you think Jackson Lemire would fit in on this show?
Wow. First thing, fire your publicist because they are not researching the shows. That's like calling up a tiger and saying, I have a big fat piece of meat. Would you like me to throw it into your cage? I would not put you and that guy in the same room.
I think it would be maybe a good show. I think maybe we do it, but I don't really want to. That publicist has never heard this show, knows nothing of what we're about because they're pitching Pastors for Trump on this show. And I almost want to say, bring him on. I think he'd like a new asshole, but I don't know if I want to do that.
No, unless it's spaghetti or gnocchi, I'm not really interested.
You also had a brilliant idea as we were texting the other day. Like I said, a lot of show stuff this week. Total Babble OnlyFans. Maybe we should work that out and see how it goes. Emily had that suggestion that we start an OnlyFans, and I just don't know what we would do and how that would work out and that sort of thing.
Yeah. To be honest, I've never been on the platform, so I don't really know everything that goes on. But I did read some absolutely fascinating stories about the monetization of Pornhub. And there are content creators who produce scientific content videos, everything non-sexy as it can get. Pornhub pays out more per view than YouTube does, so they put all of their content on Pornhub instead of YouTube to increase their monetization.
Huh. Well, and even on YouTube, you can have assholes on the screen as long as you say it's educational and for medical purposes. There's some guy that has a grooming video or something. I listened to another podcast, and in this other podcast, this guy is just putting his nuts and asshole on there and showing how he grooms them. And apparently, because it's for public service, he can get away with it. That's allowed.
I only have one question.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you searching for to get that?
To be fair, I'm not. I heard it on another podcast. They were talking about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Then I think about the OnlyFans thing, and I'm like, okay, how are we going to do that? What are we going to do? I don't know how it all works. And then I think, okay, you're a prude, as you say, even though you're my dick bitch, you say you're a prude. So I guess I'm going to have to be the one dropping dong everywhere if we do an OnlyFans. And I think that'll have to be the way we go forward. And I'll have to take that hit for the team. I don't want to, but I'll do it. I'll do anything for the show, as you know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd even settle for just booby tassels. I think you could just put on a couple of sparkly, spinny pasties.
Is there a big booby tassel fetish community? Is there a big BT group of people out there, you think?
I do think, yes.
Because there's everything. So, yeah, maybe we'll just do tassels. That'd be fun.
Yeah, just tassels. I think you should put one right in the middle of the top of your head and spin it.
Party hat.
Yeah, like a party hat or like one of those propeller hats.
That'll be the next thing for the next birthday that we have.
We should do a show where we just have like a tassel in the middle of each of our foreheads, and every time somebody says something funny, you've got to spin
Whip it around.
the tassel. Woo!
That would be totally fun. And then that made me think of, okay, if I'm dropping dong everywhere on OnlyFans, and Halloween is coming. I thought, ultimate Halloween costume, I could go as Rodney Dangerfield, because that just involves putting on a bathrobe, nothing else, not tying it, and walking around. He was famous for just walking around in a bathrobe with his nuts hanging out. lots of comedians talk about. They go over to talk to Rodney about some special they're doing, and he's in a bathrobe and nothing else, and it's all just hanging out. And it wasn't a perv thing. It was just that Rodney didn't care. He would just do that and walk around that way. And I have a little bit of respect for him in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, power to him. Every time you say dong, I'm assuming that you mean the legal currency of Vietnam.
Sure. Absolutely, it's what I'm talking about. We're all Vietnamese
Perfect.
all the time, right?
Yeah. And so when you're dropping dong left, right, and center, I'm just imagining you just making it rain.
Total babble. More dong here.
Dong. Massive dong. And it's just like a money gun. It's just like dong, 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 dong.
Now, how do you spell dong? Is it the same as dong, or how do you spell the dong?
I think it's the same.
I would like it if it were different. Just a little bit of difference would be, oh, she's going to her phone.
I really think the people of Vietnam want to make sure it's different too.
Yeah, especially, depending on who they're talking about and that sort of thing. And we'll figure out the dong aspect.
Yeah, it's spelled the same.
Oh,
D-O-N-G.
all right.
Guess what the equivalent is to the United States dollar. One Vietnamese dong. How much?
5,000 US dollars.
I really would have thought you'd go the other way, given some of the things you can assume about Vietnam's economic position. But let's go with it. It is worth 0.00038 United States dollars.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is a bit
This
interesting.
has been dong education.
This has been dong.
We've spent a lot of time talking about dong here today, and welcome to it.
Yeah.
See, but
welcome to
then
it.
the problem is if you put dong in the show title of this week's show, people think you're talking about dong, and I don't want them to think we're talking about dong. We're talking about dong.
Well, I mean, if we do go to OnlyFans, we do want people to assume we're talking about the downstairs dong.
All dong all the time, all kinds of dong, but I don't know if that satisfies everybody's thing. I think you want to be really niche. You don't want to be mass appeal is what people keep saying. So I don't know. We'll maybe just need to change the dong depending on our own needs.
Yeah, just put the dong wherever we need it.
Yeah. That's how it goes. You do what you got to do, Sometimes you take a dong for the team.
One of us does.
Or both.
You could guess who.
Yeah. I could. It would be a guess. Depending on what we're talking about, who's going to the bank. I don't know. Anyway. So any big birthday celebrations for you? Anything going on?
Nothing big, which is how I like it. My family is taking me to one of our favorite restaurants tonight. So Robert the drug runner is home from work, which is great. And the two boys chose the restaurant, and we're all going to get dressed up and go downtown and go to a restaurant.
Here's what you do. And I legitimately will pay you $50 if you do this. You take your phone with you. You set it to record the voice memo. You sit down, and when the waitress comes around, you look up at him or her, and a waitress, it could be male or female in my world, and you say, "Pardon me, but do you take dong?" And just see what they say. $50, I'll give it to you.
Let me see how it goes down.
And work that out.
These people know us. We go there a lot.
Well, then maybe it's not that big a deal. Maybe they understand. Oh, it's them again. They're asking about if we take dong.
I'll check the vibe and get back to you. If it happens, I'll text you.
And a good time to educate your kids, too, because your kids will be aghast. And you said, no, honey, I'm talking about Vietnamese currency. And then they'll look it up and they'll get educated, too. It's a big dong educational process.
Well, the boys know all about dong
Yeah.
because their nana gave them some dong
No way.
because of the comedic value.
Well, then even better, what you do is you take some of that dong with you.
Yeah.
And then you sit down and you say to the waitress, do you take dong? And then when he or she looks at you as a waitress, you hold it up and you go, dong? And you see what they say.
Yeah, or I can just lay it on the table.
Yeah.
And then when someone goes, oh, what's that? I can say, it's my dong.
And went out with the wife the other night. She put a dong on the table.
Can't take her anywhere. Just flopped it right out.
God damn it. I think we're 12 years old.
Oh, good times.
Yeah. So here's some news out of Disneyland. Did you hear about what happened at Disneyland?
There have been many things that have happened, so I'm interested to know which one you would like to talk about.
Something this week. It was very bittersweet. Here you go.
A day of fun at Disneyland turned tragic. A woman in her 60s suffered a medical emergency while on the Haunted Mansion attraction and later died. NBC4's Amber Free is live in Anaheim with reaction now from Disney guests. Amber.
Love the delay, the massive delay. We haven't been able to figure that in broadcasting yet, but we've got to have...
delay.
If I was the news reporter, I would just start talking when the guy was talking mid-sentence and just hope it worked out. Anyway.
Hey, Michael, everyone we've been able to speak with out here who's headed to the park tell us they are saddened by the news. Still, for many, this doesn't change their plans at the park.
Somebody died? Well, shit on them. I'm sorry. We're going anyway.
Especially because they say not much information has been made available about what led to the woman's death.
Disneyland guests were surprised after learning a woman in her 60s died after riding the Haunted Mansion attraction.
It is sad that when anyone passes away, anyone loses their life. It is very sad, and it should be accounted for that and have a time of sadness.
So she's saying have a time of sadness. You think maybe like a death parade right down Main Street in Disneyland? Are they considering that? Maybe that's a way to go.
Yeah, I think they should throw just her body just propped up on the top of one of the princess floats and just have it as a part of the regularly scheduled parade that happens every day.
And all the characters could be walking kind of dark with their head hung. And Tinkerbell could fly down and do something.
I was thinking something more upbeat.
Oh,
more
okay.
Weekend at Bernie's. More princesses holding her hand up and her waving one final hurrah.
Well, see, you're going for comedy. I'm going for respect.
Well, I wasn't even thinking comedy. I was more like thinking a celebration of life.
Ah, okay. Yay, her old woman that
Yeah.
died on the Haunted Mansion ride. I'm with you.
I'm very sad for her and her family. It's interesting because when you die in this way, almost like the Darwin Awards, which I'll tell you about after this, but when you die in a peculiar way, you become defined by your death. This woman could have won the Nobel Peace Prize, but she will be forever known as the woman who died on the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney, a Disney death.
And I'll tell you this, she would still win the Nobel Peace Prize before Trump. Just want to throw that in.
100%.
Then also there's some good opportunity here. We'll get to that.
Anaheim Fire and Rescue says they were called to the park around 6:30 p.m. Monday. They say the woman was found unresponsive in a cart known as a doom buggy at the end of the ride. The fire department says Disneyland security provided CPR until first responders arrived. They say the woman was then rushed to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead. Her cause of death has not yet been determined, but Anaheim Fire and Rescue says they don't believe it stemmed from an issue with the ride itself.
But how do we know? Because maybe she was scared so intensely from the ride that perhaps she died.
Right.
You know, they're kind of painting this as a negative, and I don't like it when people die. I don't wish death on most people. But this is a tremendous marketing opportunity. You can say, hey, everybody, the Haunted Mansion, it's around Halloween time, and this woman died. It was so scary. Maybe you make some lemons out of death lemonade.
Death lemonade?
You make some lemons out of death lemonade. You could kind of do that. You start rumors that, you know, she died on the ride, and that's what happened. What do you think about that?
Amazing. I'm just like, I have so many questions about this lady.
Yeah.
You know, like what sort of pre-existing health condition did she have? She was relatively young.
60-something, they said. Yeah.
Right.
Young-ish.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was the ride that was so scary around Halloween that it was too much for her and she couldn't handle it. Ha, ha, ha.
Ha.
Yeah.
It's not one of the ones where she was like decapitated on a roller coaster or whatever they're called. That happens. Or there's been a bunch of people who have died falling out of roller coasters, getting decapitated, like real scary stuff. There was a fire in Luna Park in Sydney, and I think it was on like a Haunted Mansion ride or something, and people died in it.
And there was that water park in New Jersey or something. They did a big documentary on it, and it was so dangerous that people were getting killed all the time, and they finally closed it down. There's a thing on Amazon Prime or something you can find about this water park that was open and totally unsafe.
Absolutely. And Disney, though, is no stranger to human remains.
They use them as fertilizer?
You're on the right track.
All right.
They have to actively monitor people who are utilizing the park because so many people ask for their ashes to be scattered at Disney. They have a health problem because they will often bust people just throwing human remains out and scattering them. Every time somebody tells me that, I actually visualize them throwing chunks of human body, but that's not how it happens. It's actually usually just cremated remains.
And when you get ashes, they're not really ashes. Like there's chunks of bone and stuff in there. So it's not like it just mystifies in the air. It goes clump and you could injure people with grandpa's tailbone or something, you know?
Right. And it's very fine. And Disney can sometimes be a little bit windy. So could you imagine that, like pouring out Granddad and just the wind blowing it directly back into your mouth at Disney?
You ever see Big Lebowski?
No.
Ah, okay. There's a big scene like that in Big Lebowski. Pretty fun. John Goodman. You've never seen Big Lebowski?
No.
It's odd and weird, but quirky and fun. I think you should watch it.
I think I would very much like it.
It's very good. And then you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say not the fucking Eagles, Donnie, because I do that a lot. Because there's moments like that. All right, here's more of our Disneyland story.
The Haunted Mansion is a slow-moving dark ride that takes riders through a gothic estate filled with spooky illusions. Authorities have not said whether the woman was riding alone or with someone else in the two-person buggy.
A doom buggy.
Despite the uncertainty, many visitors told us they still feel safe in the park.
In Disney, they're a huge corporation that is constantly running inspections.
We don't know.
This guy's an expert.
Her condition. We don't know what her medical issues was. So we don't know if it was going to happen anyway. Had nothing associated with Disney.
Now, we reached out to Disney to ask them more about the woman, but they were only able to confirm that they had a woman on Monday who required medical attention and was then transferred to a local hospital. As far as the woman's identity or where she is from, we are still waiting for those details to be released by the coroner. For now, reporting live from Anaheim, Amber Frias, NBC4 News.
And then what you do is you start the rumor that she now still haunts the Haunted Mansion.
Creepy. Did she die there, though?
I think she must have, based on the way they're putting the information out. They're not putting out a lot of information, but I think it happened there. And because they said they found her in a doom buggy, so.
Right.
Was the ride so scary?
Imagine sitting next to someone. Imagine if there was somebody in there with her. So you get to the point where you disembark. And imagine just getting up and leaving that poor woman there. She's obviously, something's wrong.
Or I would think somebody noticed that she wasn't moving at that point. I would hope.
I would hope.
And they usually put you in the cart with somebody that you know. It's not just random strangers, so.
Right, and I don't think anybody's going on the Haunted Mansion ride solo.
There's so many questions. So many deathful questions. And there's still just great marketing opportunities in this. Like I said, don't wish death on anybody, but you could say, hey, are you going to D4? And somebody go D4 and you go Disney Death Discount Days. They could have special promotions like that. D4.
They do those though, you know. It's run by the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Oh, shit. Well, now you've gone dark. Now you've gone really dark.
I'm not trying to, but kids with terminal illnesses often go on a Disney Death Discount and they get to go and see the Magic Kingdom.
They'd be there especially during D4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wonder if maybe Disney killed that woman just for promotion. And I think probably not. But then I think, hey, they fired Jimmy Kimmel to get ahead in business. So who knows what they'd do.
Honestly, I heard that she had seen the Epstein files.
There you go. Well, that leads into this. Good segue. Did you hear that Melania Trump has been talking to Putin to try to free children displaced in the Russian?
Yes, I have. And that seemed unexpected.
Yeah, very odd. And like, okay, obviously they've had that information for a long time and they've been waiting to put it out. And they put it out maybe because they didn't have anything else in the news to distract us at that point. Is that what happened?
Maybe. I actually watched it while it was happening live, some of it.
Yeah. So, she's been apparently talking to Putin, trying to get children freed. I don't really believe it. But then if we take it at face value, I think, you know what we should do? We should give her a Nobel Peace Prize. Could you imagine the blow up if she got that for doing that thing and he didn't and Trump found out? Oh my God, it would be so great.
That would be surprising. I do actually like her more than I like her husband. And I still maintain that no one was more surprised to become the first lady the first time round than her. If you go back and you look at the footage, just the abject terror of going, all I wanted was a fucking sugar daddy and now I'm the first lady of this country was surprising.
I have less respect for her because I don't think this has ever been a genuine relationship. To me, I read it as a relationship that was arranged directly or indirectly, even if it's just an understanding, an unspoken thing of you're going to be my arm candy and here you get all this. But I think it's probably more than that. And I think there's probably maybe even legal documents that have been signed.
I mean, maybe. Also, she could have been someone who accidentally bought high. And what I mean by that is if you go back and you look at, say, the broadly publicized photographs around the time when he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein and they were hanging out, which is around the time that he met Melania, when Trump and Melania met, he looked way better. Not great, but way better. Like enough that you could stomach it if he was nice enough, right? But
which is what you want in a husband, by the way.
I'm not talking for myself here. However, we know that we now live in a time where many, 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 many women, they're not marrying for love. They're marrying for assets, money, wealth, whatever. So whatever, power to them. But now you look at him and he looks like a badly wrapped taco that's gone off in the sun. She still looks fantastic.
For her age, yeah.
Yeah, for her age, right? He's unwell.
Do you think, looking at it honestly, though, she has ever really been into him? Or is it just, oh, there's a bunch of money over there and I'm going to follow that? Even if you go back to when he wasn't so bad.
How many years have they been together for? It's been over 20, right?
I'm sure, I would think. Yeah. And the one thing I really want to make clear, and the point I want to get out in all of this, talking about Melania, is that she is not an international mail order hooker. And I believe there's proof of that in the Epstein files. So I think if we want to prove that she's not an international hooker, we need to open the Epstein files because that proof is there. And then we can think better about her and open them things up. And then we'll know that she's in it for love. Maybe that's what it is.
So they've been together for 20 years this January. So January 2025. So there's the nice explanation, which the romantic side of me likes to believe in, regardless of how horrible the person is that they were in love and they are together because they love one another and they've built a life together and they have a child together and all of that nice stuff. Another potential is that he's a Russian asset and she's his handler.
Wow. That's a little bit of a step, but I don't know. The way he acts and reacts could be. And is there any doubt now that he's just so fucking demented that he's just doing all kinds of crazy shit and eventually the Republicans are going to have to do something about it?
There is no question. And also, Robert and I were talking about this the other day in the car. I believe that there should be a cap on age to be the president because at a certain point in time, there is mental decline. In the government, to work in agencies like the ATF, the CIA, to be an active agent in the field, you cannot work past the age of 57 because you're slower, you're aging, right? And even for the president, I believe that they should not be allowed to serve after the legal retirement age because it's all downhill. I don't care how good of a person you are. If you need a cup of tea and a lie down every day at 2 p.m. and can't stand up straight and keep forgetting where you left things, can't remember conversations, can't remember things, it's okay. It's a natural part of life. But you shouldn't have the nuclear codes.
And perhaps that if you are sending the National Guard into cities that you're seeing are in flames because you're watching videos from 5 years ago where you saw civil unrest and that is happening now, perhaps then you shouldn't be president, because that's the other big theory, that he's seeing outdated videos and doing all this shit.
Did you hear what War Daddy Pete did to the National Guard?
I don't know. Tell me.
So an image went viral of them getting out of the back of a truck, essentially Meal Team 6. They looked like a bunch of kegs on legs, and it was within 24 hours of him standing up talking about fitness standards in the military. And so he looked like an absolute pork chop. I'm talking obese. Like their legs looked like they were having a hard time trying to get out of the truck. And so War Daddy Pete went and pulled them out.
Well, you've got to control the media and do whatever you need to do.
But I feel so sorry for those people too. They're just there doing a job, and then they've had their photo taken, and then they've been teased mercilessly online, which I think is pretty mean. And then they've essentially been fired.
As I understand it, you don't have to do the job, though. Even as a soldier, there's conscientious objector or something like that, where if you're going into our cities and randomly abducting people, you can say that is against your beliefs and not have to do that. So I don't necessarily feel sorry for those people based on that.
True. I wonder if they get to keep their benefits and stuff if they sit it out.
I'm sure there's motivation for them to not do the right thing, but sometimes you just have to do the right thing.
Yeah, that's true. And they're not getting paid right now because the government is shut down.
Well, I just heard a headline the other day that they're going to find the money to pay those people immediately, but everybody else is still fucked. That's the latest I heard. So, focus on what's important. You got to pay the people abducting our citizens, but the legitimate government workers doing a job, we can't pay them. Why would you do that?
When a country deploys their military against their own citizens, we are cooked.
And the only thing I worry about is a legitimate election coming up. And I have to hope that they know that there's going to be bullshit and they're going to try to make it a fake election and try to get past everything. I hope everybody on the other side is looking out for this to not be a real election and preparing for that. There's got to be thoughts on that, right?
We live in hope. Every single young person I meet, if they look like they're of voting age, I ask them, are you enrolled to vote? Are you ready to vote? Enroll to vote now. It makes a difference. And also at the local level, it's not just about the low level. Take interest in who your mayor is. Take interest in who's on your city council. Take interest in and make sure that you vote for your senators. Come on.
It's good that you're doing that and keep doing that, and everyone should keep doing that. I am mainly concerned about what they're going to do to make sure that people just don't get out to vote in Democratic cities because, and I don't know if you and I have talked about this. I've brought this up a lot with other people, but it's really a big coincidence that they're sending the troops out ahead of time to all these Democratic cities when there's bigger crime in other Republican cities and they're not sending them out there. It almost seems like they're putting the military out there to have control of those cities. And then when it comes time for everybody to vote in the midterms, geez, I hope they're not intimidating citizens not to vote in Democratic cities. And I hope they're not there to strong arm people. And there's got to be some way to combat that because it looks to me like that is exactly what is being prepared.
Yep.
And how do you get around it? And I don't know. I'm not an expert, but God damn it, I hope there are some experts.
It's all a little bit scary. And I have to believe that something positive will happen. Here's what I don't know. Who the hell do the Democrats have? Because if they wait until it's election time, they've waited too long. They need to get a horse, get 2 horses, and start promoting them strongly now.
It's going to be Newsom. It's going to be our California Newsom. That's why he's getting involved in all this stuff. He's out in the social media making fun of Trump and making fun of J.D. Vance and doing all this stuff. That's early prep work. I'm absolutely convinced of it.
That's a good point.
And I'm not the only one thinking that. Like, it's going to be him. And he's smarter, but he's also a used car salesman politician, which bothers me. So I'm like, okay, obviously anybody but Trump. And then I just worry about, okay, is he going to be able to grab the rest of the country? So.
And who would be the vice?
That's a good question. Maybe, well, I don't know if they'd want to go this extreme, but AOC. Because then if he can portray himself as the moderate Democrat, then if you have her, she's the extreme liberal Democrat, then you get everybody, and then you get all the idiot kids that don't like typical government, and maybe they'd warm up to her a little bit because she's not typical government, and you get all those Joe Rogan retard rejects that don't know how they're going to vote, and, hey, vote for the hot girl, she's got different ideas. Maybe that would be their mental thought process.
Let's see. But I'm glad they're already thinking about it, because we can't get to another election where we're putting up bullshit candidates who are never going to fly.
Yeah. And as much as I defend Joe Biden, he fucked this country by not getting out sooner and being really stubborn and saying he was going to be able to do it. And no, you're not. And everybody told him he wasn't. And then Harris couldn't pick it up in the end, which I don't know if she would have been able to do anyway. I mean, she's a black woman. God knows we can't have a black woman as president in this country. So,
yeah, and it just shook people's confidence, I think, because when you have a history of poor decision making, how can you be trusted to run the country?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Democrats think.
If she had had more time, maybe it would have worked out better, but it also is a big demonstration when I'm here in California looking at anything about all the other assholes in those flyover states across the country, because at least a big part of her loss was people not voting for a black woman, and that was their real problem with it, if they even want to admit it to themselves.
Which is so staggering to me, because I do think that if Michelle Obama ran, I think that she would get voted in.
Absolutely. When all of this was happening 4 years ago, I was poking Michelle Obama in social media saying, come on, you've got to run. Don't you care about your country? And God damn it, she didn't. She didn't.
I think their family has really served us.
Yeah, and Obama was on the final episode of Mark Maron's WTF podcast. He's retiring that, and Obama was the very last guest, and that's going to be an interesting interview. I think I haven't heard it yet, but it seems pretty great. And
I'm excited.
Was talking about something like, could you imagine if I sent the National Guard out to Texas when I was president, how that would have gone over? And he's just really pointing shit out and being smart like he was. And God damn it. Anyway.
It's so interesting, and a lot of people are doing it, which is drawing parallels between how Hitler gained control and how we ended up in genocide, and how Trump is doing many of the same things. And one thing that I wish people would make more of a point about talking about is that he didn't just do it on his own. It's because citizens allowed it. And so each and every one of us has a role to play in making sure that we have our voices heard and that we don't behave in ways that are against our morals and don't allow ourselves to get caught up in all of the propaganda that's being sent out there, and stick to our guns.
Well, and I have brought this up since they landed here in LA, but local governments ought to have their police out protecting people from ICE. I know that makes it volatile, and I know that makes it to be a thing where there could be gunfire in the streets, but they are here to protect and serve, and our citizens, whether they are legal or not, need protecting and serving, and that should absolutely be happening. All it takes is somebody calling your local police department and saying, ICE is in this area, and then you deploy the police and you have them walk around and follow ICE and get between ICE and people, and at least that would be something. But that hasn't been done yet, and I think it's going to have to be done eventually, and that will perhaps be the start of the actual civil war when we get down to it, if they don't do it now.
There is someone who is doing that.
There's people doing it locally, like they're having them towed, but I haven't heard of local police departments doing it. And they're the ones that are more qualified, and they're the ones that have guns and could get between people because, at least in my estimation, neither person on either side is going to draw guns in that. They're going to let it go, you know?
Right. I really agree with that.
So anyway, moving on from politics. Found this from NPR. Just a quick, interesting thing. A Texas big game hunter was killed while stalking an African Cape buffalo.
Suck shit.
Yeah. Texas.
Sorry. Tragic.
A Texas real estate magnate and trophy hunter was killed by a buffalo during a hunting expedition in South Africa. The incident was described as sudden and unprovoked. Asher Watkins had been tracking the bull for a kill when the large horned animal attacked first. And let me just take this opportunity to say, animals! Fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah! Cape buffalo are considered one of the most wanted dangerous game animals by trophy hunters across the globe. According to the safari company, no other animal has a more fearsome reputation than a Cape buffalo. That's good. This guy died doing what he loved. So as far as I'm concerned, let the animals have their way with the hunters. There's no real reason to hunt just to hunt. And I feel like if you hunt just to kill something, I think you're a shitty person. I can maybe see an opening if you use the meat or need the meat or whatever. But even then, there's ways to get around it and screw the hunters.
I agree. And I wonder why it has the most fearsome reputation. Because if you look at the animal, any African animal that kills the most number of people per annum, it's actually a hippopotamus.
Yeah, they get pissed.
Yeah, they get pissed. They kill approximately 500 people annually.
Yeah, and I wondered about you and your people out there in the wild in Australia. Do people typically hunt there? Is that a thing?
Fuck no.
Because I kind of thought, they're out on the outback. Maybe they hunt and maybe they use the meat. And I kind of thought maybe, because you were the one that kind of thought it was okay for Christy Nome to shoot her animal in the face. We had that conversation.
Well, yeah, not because she just doesn't like the dog, but I know plenty of people who've had to shoot a dog because it's violent, killing animals on their farm, which they make money from. But yeah.
I just perceived you as maybe being more rural and maybe you had experience over there with more hunters and that kind of thing. You're with me on the fuck the hunters.
I am with you on the fuck the hunters. And I think that Americans are mostly the only people who go hunting on a full stomach. It's just my personal opinion is that I can get behind eating animals, taking only what you need and eating the animal or using it to feed your family. But the idea of shooting an animal, cutting off its head and leaving the rest of it behind is disgusting to me.
What is the charge and the thrill out of that? Like, I try to understand the motivation and, okay, what made you do that? What do you get out of that? How do you feel superior? That's not a sport. There's an animal out there in front of you and you have a gun. How is that a sport? There's not a challenge even.
I love how people have reported this as being unprovoked as well. This animal has probably been around long enough to know that when the cars arrive, someone's going to fucking die.
It's that goddamn species again. They're here. Oh, shit.
Exactly. And I'm going to handle it like a boss. In Australia, there is actually hunting. There are culls sometimes where native animals get too thick and too crazy and they go out and they kill a shitload of them and turn them into dog food. Kangaroos are an example. Those can be a real pest, especially in farming communities, and they just overrun things and you might go out and do it yourself, but there are companies that they go and choose and they cull the roos and turn them into dog food.
I'm all for that, and it happens in this society too sometimes, and I just really was playing back in my head about 3 times in that pause, cull the roos. It just has such an interesting ring to it. Cull the roos.
Cull the roos. But there are some contentious things like brumbies, which are wild horses.
Brumby is just such an Australian word. Like if you we've got brumbies, I could think it's nothing else but Australian.
Yeah, totally. So brumbies are what we call wild horses. and they run around in herds or whatever they're called, whatever a gaggle of horses is called. And sometimes the government will go in and kill them, and I don't think anybody loves that. But sometimes they go out and whack the Brumbies.
So Brumbies are wild horses. I love that Rolling Stones song. Brumbies couldn't drag me away.
Alicia Keys, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. She did a cover of Brumbies Couldn't Drag Me Away.
Yes, and with Adam Levine from Maroon 5, another show favorite.
God, that guy's a load. Do you not scoff at that just because I'm saying it, or do you understand that he's a load?
Oh, he's a cock.
Okay, good.
I don't like him at all. I did let the record show. This is my secret shame. I actually went and watched a Maroon 5 concert.
I have a friend that was very into that band for a long time.
Oh, I didn't buy the tickets. I wasn't into it. My mate got the tickets, but her husband wasn't around. So she asked me if I wanted to go. And so I went to hang out with my mate, and we went and watched the concert.
And what was it in history that changed everybody's view of him? Like at a certain point, we just came to understand that he was like a total poser douche. And I'm wondering where that came from. I don't remember.
I can remember the moment.
Yeah.
It was during the tour where it was like the Big M tour, and it was like black. It was like that album. I don't know what it was called. But he just started taking his shirt off all the time. Just... you blink and the shirt's off.
And people said he looked like a Chipotle bag.
Yeah, gratuitous nips. And he was just gyrating and just being a real skeeve. Then it came out that he cheated on his wife.
Right. That was when it was okay to hate him.
And then he started losing in the court of public.
Like, okay, we're on the douche track. And then it came out that he was cheating on his wife. And okay, now total douche. I do remember that. And you think about that and you compare it to Nickelback. And I'm not a Nickelback fan, but those guys never did anything that douchey or shitty as far as I can remember.
I don't know why there is all the Nickelback hate. I don't understand where it came from.
It seems like it was the first band like that where people just decided, okay, we're going to make this a joke. And there have been many since, but it seems like that was the first one.
I think that makes sense. And because it doesn't make sense that they would be picked on. They don't have any songs that are weird or offensive or could be misconstrued. I just don't understand it.
So we can move on from that guy. Lauren Boebert, America's trailer park stepsister. You know she's worthless trash, but she's still kind of hot. Have you heard about what she's been investigating lately? She's committed to her constituents and working on issues again. Have you heard her latest crusade?
STDs.
That would make more sense, her and Kid Rock, but...
bad blowjobs.
It still make more sense. She's going after the really important things that are affecting society.
Oh. More flexibility in strippers.
Still, you're making more sense than she did. Here is the news report.
Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert is running for re-election, and her latest campaign strategy is taking on a taboo topic. Fox 31.
A taboo topic. Remember, the topic is taboo.
Ashley Michaels explains.
Yesterday, Lauren Boebert's campaign team sent out an email asking, "Are aliens real?"
Of all the things going on in our society, and this idiot loser going through just being the laughingstock of everybody, she's focusing on "Are aliens real?" in her campaign.
This is the Flying Saucer RV Resort.
And while it's not in Representative Lauren Boebert's district, some living in this Sheridan community also want to know what's up.
So an RV resort supporting Lauren Boebert because she's trying to find out about space aliens. Could there be more of a stereotype?
I think that aliens in general are absolutely real because there's got to be something out there.
Boebert's campaign team is now tapping into that curiosity with an email blast demanding the truth. It says for decades, our government has shrouded the truth about UFOs in a veil of secrecy. She goes on to question whether there are aliens, foreign adversaries, or secret government programs.
She put this out?
Fox 31 Democratic analyst Andy Boyan says outlandish ads are often used when candidates are desperate for money or voter support.
So this guy's analyzing her situation, and what he comes up with here is really good.
Neither of which I'm seeing right now. So I'm not really sure why this would go out to conservatives in her district. This is almost a cry for help. in politics, to be honest.
But Boebert's campaign team says the message is performing extremely well because people want answers.
Enough is enough, yeah.
This is a woman at a trailer park they're interviewing. Yeah, enough is enough. Forget about people being captured in our economy. Enough is enough. We're focusing on the important things here at the trailer park.
I agree. I think that just reading that, like, I can tell that she has a personality also, and she has...
Can't argue with that. She does have a personality.
Facts.
Fucking idiot.
An open mind and isn't afraid of, like, reaching for
mouth's
new
certainly
truths
often open.
because, like, there's not a whole lot of truth going on in the world right now.
And while our analyst says Boebert's email will get people talking, he believes it's the wrong topic at the wrong time.
The government is shut down, and there's no opportunity right now to talk. So what she needs to be doing is facilitating ways to get the government open again, not worrying about whether or not we have UFOs in our skies.
This is a topic she's discussed publicly before. Last year in November, there was a congressional hearing about UFOs where she questioned experts on the topic. She says she still has questions and won't stop until she gets answers. Ashley Michaels, Fox 31.
So there you go. There she is. And then I thought, okay, she's been dating Kid Rock. That guy really should be America's modern day Nickelback. That guy's just such a load. And the loads are
insane. He's like poor man's Axl Rose meth baby.
I don't like those Bud Light cans. Let's blow them up. Fucking idiot. Yeah.
So do you believe in aliens?
I think I do. I don't know how committed I can be to that. It's very strange that so many of these things have happened and so many experiences have happened, and the fact that people see stuff and it can be something that there's no explanation for. Like, okay, it just disappears and zips away in the sky when no vehicle can do that. And my mom told me that when she was in college, there was this big UFO over Michigan, and they didn't know what it was, and it was never really explained. It was a famous case study, and they explained it away as swamp gas, and she said that was not swamp gas. I saw it. Maybe there's something out there. I think a lot of it is military stuff that they're probably screwing around with. I would like to believe, and then it makes me afraid and uncomfortable to believe, and then I think, okay, if they are out there, why are they not saving us?
Yeah. I do believe that there is life beyond our solar system, but the reason is purely mathematical. The probability, given if you assume that space is infinite, is that there will not only be life, but there will be intelligent life in whatever format that takes.
Yeah, and you would think, okay, if they're zipping around in the sky like that, then why is it that they have not looked out for us and saved us? Why are they not helping us?
They could be so different to us. There's a possibility that if there was intelligent life, that they wouldn't even be able to perceive us or us them. We look at things as humans through a very human-centric lens and how we experience things. And I think there's no greater and closer to home example of this than how humans look at plants. And we've talked about this on the show before, right? We make so many assumptions that plants don't communicate because they don't communicate in the way that we do. But science is now telling us that they actually do, and we can prove it.
And now we can't eat them.
I feel very sorry for you.
What do I do?
You're going to be just straight oil. Oh, no, that comes from plants.
Yeah. No, eat nothing.
Oh.
I'll just subsist
crap.
on water and maybe sap from trees. Maybe I could get away with that. But during that previous sentence, I got lost in why don't they just save us? Because I was trying to remember the other thing that I was going to say, but I had Ambien last night. And then I'm now remembering, why did the aliens not save us? And why is Anonymous not saving us? They are these big, powerful entities that allegedly exist. And I would have thought that they would have gotten more involved. And we've seen a post here and there from Anonymous, but based on what we know, they could take down terrible governments. So why are they not doing it? I want saviors is what I want.
Yes, desperate times, desperate measures. I think Anonymous put out notice to the government that if they didn't do something, that they were going to do something about it.
They keep doing that, though. And they've done that for years. And I like, okay, impress us is how I feel now, you know?
Yeah, exactly. We do need somebody to do something. And again, this sounds conspiratorial, but I think that we need some things done that we don't even know that we need. Does that make sense?
Based on stuff that we don't know is also happening behind the scenes, you mean?
Exactly. I think that what we're experiencing is the tip of the iceberg, and there is much more nefarious bullshit happening beyond the public eye in the dark corners of the world where regular folks will never see.
Yeah, I agree. Even if you just attribute it to this specific government that we have right now, I believe that to be the case. And then who knows what's bigger than that.
Right.
And there you go. There's a show. I want to say that I'm proud. Here's a party hat to you. Happy birthday to you. And I would like it to be known that I did a fairly attentive show, even though I didn't get distracted by the massive amount of cat hair that you have on your microphone windscreen. That's right there. It's there, and I did not fixate on it, and I looked past it, and it's like, oh my God, she's got cats. Look at all the cats she's got. There you go.
It's not cat hair. It's fluff from wiping it with a thing.
Okay, I fluff.
Yeah, so it's not cat hair, but it is white fluff.
All right. You still got some
From
fluff
like a
on
towel or something.
right on the very center of it, right there. You got some
Yeah,
fluff. And
exactly.
I'm not going to completely fit. Yeah, right there. Get that one.
Have a look at this. It is.
That came out of a dryer.
It's dryer fluff. It's dryer fluff.
There you go.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, next week, no, it's fine. I got past it. I was proud of myself and was fairly attentive even with that there. And next week we'll have a full inspection.
Thank God. I've been looking for a full inspection. I feel like I should just put up a little fence here like Wilson from that show, because the microphone is always right in my face. You can't actually see my face. You can just see sort of my nose up.
Yeah.
That would make it fun.
Or we could just install a trackable camera and I could zoom around and look around the room. I think that would be kind of fun too.
It would, for someone, what you cannot see is I haven't folded laundry in quite some time. So to my right is Mount Washmore.
But that's good because that's good for acoustics. Leave the laundry everywhere. It soaks up the bounces of sound. So go with that.
That's what I keep telling myself. That's why I had the option to do it yesterday. I was like, no, tomorrow's show day.
No, leave it there. It's good. A lot of people do voiceover and podcasting from their closets because the acoustics are better and all the coats and things soak up the sound. So a little tip for everybody out there.
That's smart.
Start your podcast, everybody else's.
Tina Fey has started a podcast and I'm excited.
Yeah, I am open to that. I like her a lot. The other problem, though, is Amy Poehler. I like her. I think she's talented. I can't handle her as a podcast host at all. It just doesn't work for me. I think she's a fine person. It seems very, I'm going to broadcasting school now to me, whatever.
I see. I haven't actually listened to it, so I'm going to reserve my judgment until I listen. But I'm glad that they're doing something with their time.
Yeah. And now that Mark Maron has gone away, I wanted to mention to everybody that Total Babble Podcast is currently accepting his listeners for a limited time. So you can get in on that.
Maybe we should do some episodes where we research a single topic and like debate about it.
I think we've done that once or twice. There have been like holiday shows and that sort of thing. They're okay. It's just not as much fun as going everywhere. I really think what we should do, being that Mark Maron has gone away, is just get Obama on. If we could get Obama on, that would be good. I'd like to do that.
I mean, everyone's doing it, right?
Come on there, Barack.
Not to. We should get Kid Rock on.
Oh, God, that'd be good. Kid Rock and that asshole pastor guy that I talked about at the beginning of the show. That'd be fun. That would be combative. The early days of radio were very, very combative with talk and people screaming at each other, and then it kind of grew and moved on.
I don't think I could handle people screaming at one another. I don't think I would enjoy that. I think it would make me feel unwell.
I think it depends how you define screaming. People say I'm yelling at them, and I'm not really yelling. You know, I feel like, no, I'm putting my point across, but I'm not screaming. I'm not calling you names is how I feel.
Right. I think that's above board. But I think that people losing their absolute ever-loving minds at one another and like screaming and pointing and shouting would just What? No thanks.
Like I would never scream, "Get off my show, you bitch." That's the old days of talk radio. I wouldn't do anything like that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, because what are you going to do when that bitch does get off your show? Play with yourself? Like,
Find
what?
some other new asshole guest that you can screw with. That's what they did. Anyway, I wish you a very happy birthday. Go and have fun.
Thank you so much. It's been so great to see you, and thank you for celebrating my birthday with me today with a fun show.
Remind me earlier next year, and I'll send you some kind of present or something. I didn't have time, or I'll get a different hat.
I have everything I could possibly want.
Oh,
so I'm great.
That was like a big audio warm hug. Everybody have a great week.
Take it easy.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.
This has been Dong.